Namaste viewers, welcome back. So we have seen how the planets got created. We have seen how the moon got created. We have presented how the tilt of the earth occurred. Now in this video, I am going to tell you something which has not been found so far. And this video is going to prove the divine revelation of Vedas from a scientific thought process, right? From a logic and a reasoning. Have you ever wondered why 1 year has like 12 months or some 360 some number of days, 365 1 by 4, right? Number of days. Why the clock has like 12 sections, why it has 60 minutes, right? All these questions, correct? Why circle is of 360 degrees? So in order to understand such questions and find the answer, right, of these questions, let's start with this journey. This is called solar year riddle, okay? So Rig Veda mantra 1.164.11, what does it say? Dwadasharam nahi tajraya varvarti chakram paridhamratasya aputra mithunaso atra sapta shatani vimshanti shichatasthu. So in this mantra, what is happening? The literal meaning is, so there is the wheel of law in this mantra with 12 spokes, okay, which goes round and round, okay. It is not intended to be decayed. So here there is a Agni in this mantra, and the mention is of 720 suns in pair. What can be 720 sun? I don't think anyone can have 720 sun, right? So let's go quickly with word by word meaning. Again, Vedic mantras are not made to be interpreted single-handedly, which means you cannot consider one mantra standalone. There is a whole like sequence of mantras, and finally you come up with a big scientific meaning which is inside the mantra. So here, when we say Dwadasharam, right? So what we are saying, Dwadasharam, 12 spokes, okay, divided into 12. Nahi, not indeed, right? Then here the next is Tat, which is it. Jaraya means for decay. Then the next is Varvarti. So Varvarti means Vrat. There is a root in this, okay, Vrat. There is a root to go round. So to go round again. So if we understand, like if you consider this as an earth, so to go round, right? Then you have chakram. Chakram is nothing but the wheel here. Then pari, so pari is around again. Then you have them, that is heaven here mentioned. Again, as I mentioned in the previous video, here in this mantra there is ritasya. So rit is there. Rit here means, again, it can be moral law, but here it is mentioning about motion again here, right? Then you have which means basically it goes with tachu in the end. This is a proposition is kept detached from the verb here. Then you have putra, which is sun. Agni, O fire. Now Agni here is again referred to as sun in this mantra. Then you have Mithun Shah, right? So there means here it is referring to pair. So there are like two things, pair. It's a pairing going. It's a plural form in the Veda, okay? Then you have Atra. Atra means here. This must be in the wheel, here. Sapta means 7, which we already know. Satani is 100. And you have then Vinashtihi, right? 20, okay? Vinashtihi is 20. Then Ka, end here. Then you have Tatsu, right? So it means have been standing, right? Or stand. So this is a finite verb in a principal clause, correct? So 1.164.11, remember here what we have seen, there are like 12 kind of something mentioned as 12, which are spokes of a wheel. Then you have 720 sun in this mantra. Similarly, 1.164.12, very important. There it is mentioned about 6 seasons on the planet Earth. Okay. Then after that you have another mantra, which is 1.164.48. So we will take these mantras together and then finally come to these to the meaning, and we will find what is hidden, the hidden gem. So here it is: Dwadash pradyashachakmekam treni nabhyani ka utachiketa tasmin sakam trishatana shankavo arpitah shashtirna chalachalasa. So in this mantra, what is happening here is 12 spokes, 1 wheel, 3 navel. As I already explained, right? 3 navel is nothing but an ellipse, right? Now, who can know this? Together, like poles, 360 have been placed. So very important point, viewers. 360 have been placed and they don't shake, okay? Devadasa, here is 12. Your Paradhya is your spoke, Chakram is your wheel, as I have already explained. Ekam is 1. Then Trini is 3, Nabhyani is navel. Then you have Ka. Ka means who. Basically, it is an interrogative sense. U is indeclinable, indicating some emphasis is being given here. Tat means that. Okay. Chiketa is has known. Tasmin is in that. Okay. Then Sakam is together. So Sakam is together here. And Tristha is 300. Na is like. And Sankavaha means places. So Shashti is 6 here. Okay. So Shashti is 6 here. Yes. And Arpita have been placed. Right. Then last, like Chala Shaha means not shaking, not intensely shaking, not at least shaking. Right. So in this mantra, we are talking about Kal. As I mentioned in mantra 1.164.12, which I have not spoken here, there are 6 seasons in Hindu calendars, right? So what are those 6? One is Vasant Ritu. Vasant is your spring. Then you have Grishma Ritu, which is summer. Then you have Varsha Ritu, which is monsoon. Then you have Sharad Ritu, which is autumn. Then you have pre-winter, which is nothing but Hemant. And then you have Shishir, or I think Shita Ritu, right? Which is again your winter. With that said, let's see what is the meaning of the mantra here. This is very interesting, right? Now, number 12 here refers to the 12 spokes, which is nothing but your 12 zodiac sign, right? You have like in English, you call Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces and all that, right? Similarly, they have their Hindi corresponding names like Kanya, Kumbh and all that, right? So they are basically 12. With those 12 came 12 number of months in a year, right? 3 navels are basically 3 center of the elliptical orbit, which I have already explained in my other videos. 12 is your zodiac signs, 12 are your number of months. 360 here is mentioned that 360 days Earth used to take around Sun. So Earth used to rotate around Sun in 360 days. And 720 are the number of days of the year. Okay. So if you consider like a day and night, the pair, 360 multiplied by 12, 2 is 720. Okay. So which fixed the span of the year to 360 days. This 360 is again responsible for sexagesimal system. So friends, very important point here, right? So 360 is responsible for sexagesimal system, which was followed by ancient Babylonian civilization, Sumerians, even Egyptians, right? So if you see what they came up with is 60, base 60, everything divided by 60. Now, if you see what is happening in these Vedic mantras, right? You have 360 number of days. You have 720 day and pair, right? So 720 divided by 360. Okay. So how much it comes, right? So 720 divided by 360 is 2. Now there is another, the mantra mentions about 6 seasons. So 360 divided by 6. So now it's a circular motion of 360 degree. 360 divided by 6 gives 60. So if you see each circle can be divided into 60, 60, 60, 60, right? Okay. So you have how much? 360 divided by 6 is 60 degree. So 60 came as the base. Similarly, 720 divided by 60, how much it will be? 120, right? 120 times 3 is again 360. So if you see the total, which is your 720, again it is divided by 60, 360 is divided by 60, and if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, you can have 60 divided basically as a can be divided by 1 to 6 numbers, right? Similarly, on the fingers, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, till 12 on one hand you can count 12. Again, 60 can be divided by 12. So 60 became a common factor here, right? So if you consider a clock, right? So 720 from Vedas went into the clock or the sundial even, right? You can study about this even in some Hindu scriptures which were created after Vedas. So 720, if you split it into 12, you have to put 60, 60, 60, which becomes your 1 hour. Similarly, every hour they put minute, right? That is again 60 minutes and 60 seconds. So 60 was considered as a common factor before further the time is split into decimal like base 10, which I will explain in some other video. So 60 came out as the factor as a sexagesimal system. So interesting, right? Like 360 degrees. But modern day science says the earth take 365 1/4 days. We will find out where this 5 1/4 comes into the picture. So far, the Vedas have explained that 360 degree. This is why the angular distance covered by the earth around the sun before the moon was born became exactly equal to 1 degree of arc per day. Very important concept. It has never been mentioned anywhere, not even in modern science, right? So when the moon came out, so this moon, when it came out, right? Before that, it was inside the earth. The earth used to take 360 degrees. That's why the great sage who is meditating and who is going like millions of years back, he is seeing this in real time in Vedas, right? Can anyone even think about this? Why this 360? We study in math, right? You might have studied in geometry. One angle is basically 360 degree, 180, 180, right? And so can anyone think why circle is 360? Why every angle is 360, right? The reason is given in the Vedas. Because before moon came out, it was 360 degree. So everyone used to consider, because the whole humanity used to follow Vedas initially. It doesn't matter which civilization it was. Vedas don't belong to a particular sect or a particular religion. It was the book, or you can say it is the knowledge or the wisdom which was given by the sages to all the people on this planet Earth, right? So that was the reason like 360 became the base and 60 became the base. Okay. Now later on, it came to 365 1/4, which I'm going to explain later on. Now this is the number which is responsible for fixing the unit of time in such a way that hour, which is 1/12th part of the day or night, is equal to 3600 seconds. Okay. If we consider 365 1/4, then this development will not be possible. What will happen if you consider 365 1/4? Everything will break, right? You cannot divide it by 12. You cannot divide it by 60. So it's not going to work, right? We are going to see the science or the fact behind 5 1/4 later on, not in this video. So as you might have seen, friends, 360 came from the Vedas. The circle has 360. It can be divided into equal arc, that is 1 degree arc. We all have learned in geometry 360. This itself proves a divine creation of Vedas. As how can someone even think the correct number of days of solar year before the moon was born? Except I don't think without a divine revelation this can happen. Mantra shows Rishi basically got it through spiritual revelation. It was like as if a great sage is looking millions of years back to watch in real life what is happening, right? How can he see that moon is inside and 360 degree rotation is going on? We have seen how 60 hexadecimal system came into place. You can see how inspiring in Vedas, and it is in Vedas, and why Vedas are the fountain head of all the philosophies. It's really a work of divine creation. It is like I can easily say the biggest intellectual feat pales into insignificance before such a spiritual excellence. With that, I say thank you to all. You have learned why there is 360 degree in a circle, why there is 60, everything is based on 60. You have a 60 minutes in an hour, why you have like 12 months in a year, why there are 360 days, there were 360 days in a year. In the next part, I have to do some mathematical calculations, and I'll show you how this 5 1/4 came from Vedas. Okay, thank you. Namaste.